I'm Jim Berry. Welcome to Miami Life, the show that zeroes in on the hot topics and, of course, the people that make South Florida such a unique place. We begin with what has now become a legal battle over the proposed Trump Presidential Library in Miami. A lawsuit was filed over Miami-Dade College's plan to give away valuable land in downtown Miami so that the library and perhaps even a hotel could be built. When news of the plan became public, reaction was swift and, not surprisingly, mixed. Robert Alonzo, vice chair of Miami-Dade's Board of Trustees, which gifted the land for the library, defended the move. He says being the home of a presidential library would be a big feather in Miami's cap.
It's not about political values or ideologies. It's about the office of the president, and something that will be here in Miami for our students, our community to go visit and to learn more about the office of the presidency.
And joining us now is former FIU professor Marvin Dunn. He's also a historian, and he has brought the civil lawsuit against this plan to build the proposed Donald Trump Presidential Library in downtown Miami. Mr. Dunn, thank you for joining us today. And I want to start by reading some quotes from a letter sent to the Miami Herald by Marcel Philippe, who is on the Miami-Dade College Board of Trustees.
All right.
First thing he says is that he doubts that there would be this opposition if this were the Obama Presidential Library. Is he right?
Oh, no. Even if Obama was taking land from our kids, I would have a problem with that. No president, Obama included, should be given land that our students should have for their future. So no, it's not about Obama, it's not about Democrats, it's about being wrong. It's about taking land from kids, trying to do it under the table, getting caught. Nothing to do with Obama. It's about right or wrong.
The crux of your legal action is that this violates the state's sunshine law. You thought this was a backroom deal done in the dark.
Well, they didn't discuss the matter before the meeting, otherwise that would have been illegal. They did not discuss it during the meeting, the record shows, and then the vote was unanimous. How does that happen? I don't get how that, something in the milk ain't clean, as my grandmother would say. Then within minutes or hours, the state announces that that land's going to be given to the Trump Library. And it's just wrong. It's the way they did it in the dark, the way they had the notice not be clear about what they were doing. And then to have
it just said there was a real estate transaction.
They didn't mention that it was $6 to $7 million worth of land in downtown Miami that they were dealing with. And then to say, well, we didn't know what was going to happen with the land. We just voted to give it to the state. You give away $6 to $7 million worth of land and not ask or know where it's going. So it's all very, very shady to me.
This wouldn't just be next to the Freedom Tower. It would, from what I see, according to some plans, be actually connected to the Freedom Tower. And many people see that as a juxtaposition because the Freedom Tower, as you know, represents the beacon of freedom for so many Cuban immigrants, while President Trump is seen by many as an anti-immigrant president. Do you see that that's a clear conflict?
It is a very clear conflict. That building represents so much to the Cuban American community, as it well should. And that memory, that history should be protected and relished. And I think to have a library, particularly with this president's name on it, doesn't make sense. President Trump has done more to suppress rights and freedoms in our country than any other president. So I don't get the connection between the Freedom Tower and the president making sense to me.
Yet, Marvin, as you know, many Cuban Americans here in Miami support President Trump and love the idea of this proposed library being connected to the Freedom Tower. In fact, Mr. Philippe says he would view this as a testament of progress and a point of pride.
Then why didn't he ask us? Why didn't the public get to say we thought so as well? If Miami-Dade County believes and wants that library to go there, then it should. But we should get to weigh in, and our opinion should be asked and sought.
So what is it that you would like to see happen now?
Well, since I believe, and I think my attorneys agree, that that meeting was illegal, then any action they took is non-binding. If they had an illegal meeting and made a decision, that decision cannot hold up in court. And that's why we're challenging this in court.
So you want the deal for the land transfer to be voided?
Void it and bring that land back and give it back to our kids. That's what we want.
Governor Ron DeSantis, you believe, engineered this whole thing, right?
This was a behind-the-scenes Ron DeSantis deal that just happened to have been exposed. But this was the governor's doings, and yes, absolutely.
Do you think that, by and large, the reaction to this proposal has been too muted for your taste, or do you think that there has been a lot of opposition? Because I wonder, are you the Lone Ranger here, or are there a lot of people behind you supporting this?
Well, I'm the only plaintiff, but I have had thousands of people respond on my social media pages saying, please proceed. This is wrong. Go ahead with this lawsuit.
What would you say to Governor DeSantis if he were here right now?
Why'd you do that? Why didn't you ask us what we thought? You think we're children? You give away, you take 2.6 acres of land from our kids without asking? So I would ask him, why did you do that? Why did you do it that way? Why didn't you ask us to weigh in the very beginning, Governor? Why didn't you do that?
We heard one of the president's sons, Eric Trump, tout this idea, and he also suggested that a hotel might also go up there. What about that aspect of this?
Well, he says that it's going to be an iconic building on Biscayne Boulevard that would be seen from sea. And I'm sure they would have such a building. But before Trump's name is emblazoned on our skyline, could we get the Epstein files released first?
Well, what does that have to do with it?
Because that's our space. That's our, to have that name above our city. The first thing people see when they come in is Trump. And then suppose the president ends up being one of the people that was in trouble. So I don't see the right in putting that up without having the public comment on whether we want that name emblazoned on our skyline as Eric Trump wants to do.
Obviously, if a hotel goes up there, there's an element of commerce there. I guess that was really the crux of my question. Does that part of it potentially also make this deal even seem, for lack of a better word, shadier to you?
That's correct. The fact that they're going to have a hotel and condos worth a tremendous amount of money, in addition to a library, makes it all the more offensive. It's a money-making deal at the expense of our kids.
Should this be a partisan issue?
No, absolutely not. I think even folks who agree with this president would see that this is not the right thing to do, and that was not the right way to do it.
Well, Mr. Dunn, we thank you for coming in, and
thank you for having me.
Certainly we'll see where this whole issue lands. Okay?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Marvin Dunn in for Miami Life Today. Well, next on Miami Life, it's news drivers who take the Turnpike extension to Miami-Dade will be very happy to hear the ambitious project to add lanes and ease traffic congestion is close to the finish line. How this could help your commute. And also, some kids across South Florida getting introduced to pickleball thanks to a local man who enjoys giving back to the community. You are watching Miami Life. And welcome back. The Florida Turnpike's No Stress Expressway nickname never really caught on because commuting on that highway is no picnic. But good news is on the way for people who commute from Doral to Hialeah. Construction on the Turnpike extension is almost done. Austin Carter tells us what drivers can expect to see on the new and improved roadway.
We just gotta be patient and wait and give them time to finish with the job.
Yes, patience, something we all need driving through construction on the Turnpike extension in Miami-Dade.
They try to improve traffic, at first when we first started, but apparently from what I'm seeing right now, they are improving a whole lot.
Take a look. There are several Turnpike widening projects happening across South Florida. In Miami-Dade, more lanes are coming to the extension south of the Broward County line. For Sam Rodriguez, the biggest headache is at one spot in particular.
The construction on Okeechobee's bad. I live in Miami Lakes, but I work in Doral. It takes me about 35-40 minutes in the morning to get here.
Relief is on the way at Okeechobee. Chopper 4 overhead, where crews are building a new entrance ramp from eastbound Okeechobee to the southbound Turnpike, and a new northbound Turnpike exit to eastbound Okeechobee. Also, additional lanes in each direction of Okeechobee. This is between the west side of the Turnpike and 107th Avenue. Now that's not all. The Turnpike extension is widening from 6 to 10 lanes between 106th Street and I-75, and that includes several flyover bridges in the area. Crews are also building a new interchange at 170th Street, and they're improving lighting, signs, guardrails, and resurfacing the Turnpike. The estimated cost for the whole project, $370 million. It's a hefty price tag, And for drivers, time is money, and it's adding up for Sam.
You're spending 10 hours a week of your life on the road instead of family or kids or grandchildren.
And that time all adds up for sure. Thank you, Austin Carter. By the way, construction on the widening of the Turnpike extension is expected to be done by the end of this year. All right, now to a local business leader who makes community service a real priority. And one way he is helping out is by introducing South Florida kids to the red-hot sport of pickleball. Now, being a tennis guy, I've thrown a little shade at pickleball, I'll admit. But in this case, I can only say bravo. On the pickleball court, Andy Cagnetta has some solid strokes. But this story is about his strokes of generosity.
We love giving back to the community and sponsoring pickleball events and teaching young people the sport.
With the help of USA Pickleball, Cagnetta is introducing the sport to kids who otherwise might not get the chance to play. His company, Trans World Advisors, sponsors pickleball clinics throughout South Florida. They have taken this act to schools like Sunrise Middle in Fort Lauderdale.
You know, usually when we show up, we're bringing out equipment and we're leaving it behind. So we order a bunch of equipment, we bring the balls, USA Pickleball gives us some things, and we wind up leaving it behind for the kids to enjoy later.
Sports like pickleball, there's just something about movement, right? Like whether it's shopping or dancing or pickleball, it gets you like out of your body. It gets you out of your mind. So it's like mind off, body on, and we're not thinking about our problems anymore.
When we caught up with Cagnetta, he was sharing his pickleball passion with foster kids at SOS Children's Village. For this court time could leave a lasting impression.
For our children, when people show up for them, it just sends them a message that somebody cares about you.
Andy Cagnetta did not just start caring. 22 years ago, he started a cooking event to raise money for LifeNet, a charity designed to help the homeless and hungry.
I said I'm going to cook dinner for my friends and family. So we raised about $300 the first year, had about 30 or 40 people, and each year it kept growing.
Now, Andy's pasta dinner draws a huge crowd and has raised more than $2 million and brought awareness to the issue of hunger in Broward County. But Cagnetta says offering kids something new like pickleball is its own reward and is one way he helps to make Miami proud.
And we love being involved in the community. We do a lot of things, and we will continue giving back.
Andy, sounds great. Keep it up. All right, still to come, let the spooky season begin. With Halloween fast approaching, we're going to take you to some of the biggest and best haunted houses in South Florida. So prepare yourselves. Welcome back to Miami Life. All right, if haunted houses and people in creepy costumes are your thing, well, you must love this time of year. As we inch toward Halloween, we could not help but notice how popular haunted houses have become all throughout South Florida. And we visited a few popular ones to see what new scares they've cooked up for this season. Some people believe the fall season is all about sweater weather, Gilmore Girls reruns, and pumpkin spice lattes. But for others, fall is about Halloween. People in South Florida love a good scare.
Let's face it, Halloween is more popular now than ever, and people just love it.
We're having an amazing time. He's been scared a whole bunch of times. He's held me he was crying at the clowns. It's like amazing, but you know, I had to hold it down. Perfect place.
I'll be fine after therapy.
Halloween used to be about trick-or-treating and the occasional costume party. But that all changed with Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. The annual event draws sellout crowds. Now, haunted houses and creepy carnivals are popping up all over Miami-Dade and Broward with immersive experiences full of jump scares and gory delights.
I think if you're into Halloween or you're not into Halloween, it's just kind of the beginning of the season for holidays. You got Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I think people kind of get in that mood.
One of the biggest events in town is the Horrorland Scream Park, voted one of the top 10 haunted houses in America by USA Today. It takes over 18 acres at Jungle Island.
The whole park is completely transformed.
They really impress everyone that is here because they think about everything.
It has 5 haunted houses and scare zones. That's where scare actors do their best to make you jump out of your shoes.
You cannot go without seeing the Grinders Hospital. That's my favorite. Yeah. It's very creepy, it's very gory, it's really fun house, it's full of crazy clowns all around, it's a really fun space.
The House of Horror Haunted Carnival at Miami International Mall in Doral has become a favorite October hangout, with 5 all-new haunted houses and a full carnival with rides and food. It bills itself as a family-friendly Fright Night.
We're scary, but we're safe. So we do have, we try to limit small kids, 6 and under, are not allowed in the haunted houses at all. If they're under 16, we encourage them to go with their parents. So the haunted houses are scary, but it's not just about haunted houses. You can eat, you can ride the rides, and just hang out with the family and friends.
And Nights of Fright in Davie runs from October 23rd through the 26th at the Pine Island Multipurpose Center. And don't worry, if you're like me and cannot handle the super intense scares, they have a not-so-scary haunted house that's family-friendly. In fact, most places in South Florida make sure there is something fun for the littles.
This year we have a surprise. We are the only event in Miami that has a mini haunted house for kids, for baby kids. It's a pumpkin patch with a mini haunted house where the kids can play around and go around. There is no scare actor, so they just enjoy walking around the haunted house.
Down in the Redland, the Berry Farm has its annual Harvest Festival. No tricks, just treats here, like a pumpkin patch, hay rides, and a corn maze. And they've still got line dancing on Saturday nights. All sorts of options for you to choose from, and you can get information on all of these spooky spots on our website, cbsmiami.com. You will find the hours of operation, ticket information, and anything else you might need to plan your outing. All right, when we come back, closing the doors on 2 iconic South Florida locations. Welcome back to Miami Life. Well, after 70 years, the Miami Seaquarium is shutting down on Sunday. It once was a major South Florida attraction, but in recent years became mired in controversy over animal welfare issues. Abby Dodge paid the Seaquarium a visit this week and found families enjoying one last nostalgic visit to a local landmark.
This fall marks 70 years for the Miami Seaquarium, but over the last decade, it's gained some criticism for how it takes care of the animals behind these gates. Visitors say their experiences Monday afternoon were exactly what they were looking for in South Florida.
And he got splashed and the dolphin talked to him. That was fun.
But many didn't know about the legacy leading to its closing.
Like from what I saw, they seemed like they took care of them and the animals seemed really happy.
Animal welfare advocates like PETA have protested conditions here for years, especially after the death of Lolita the killer whale.
Champagne bottles are popping at PETA after the Miami Seaquarium announced it is finally shutting its doors to the public.
In a statement released today, the Seaquarium didn't dive into the company's recent history, which includes a county eviction and bankruptcy filings. According to a previous statement from a potential developer, their plan includes keeping an aquarium, but without any marine animals like dolphins and whales. Animals currently at the Seaquarium will be transferred to new facilities.
These animals deserve to live out their lives in seaside sanctuaries and not be shuffled to other dolphin company facilities where they will receive the same level of subpar care.
The Seaquarium didn't respond to our request for an interview, but in a past statement, the potential new developer said its changes will be a publicly accessible, family-friendly destination that brings together residents and visitors for generations to come. We reached out to the Miami Seaquarium and its parent company to understand a timeline for when these animals will be transferred out and where they're going. We're still waiting on a reply. In Virginia Key, Abby Dodge, CBS News, Miami.
Also, it's goodbye for what was another South Florida staple. After 75 years, Shorty's Barbecue will be shutting down its original location on US 1 by Dadeland Mall. Customers, of course, have flocked there for years, and as you can see, Shorty's was still packing them in, but the writing was on the wall when the land where the restaurant sits was sold for $14.5 million 3 years ago. There is no word on an official closing date, so you still have time to get in another visit or two to Shorty's. All right, time to hear from you, the Miami Life audience, and get your feedback. And our report last week on whether it is the time now to buy South Florida real estate certainly piqued your interest. We heard from a number of viewers, many who believe that prices are still too high. One person commented, "Who can afford it? Miami locals are priced out by Northerners and Cali Tech yuppies." Another said, "People ain't buying because interest rates are not reasonable. Prices are insane for what you get." And then there's the one comment from someone who said that folks who can't afford Miami homes should just pack up and move. Come to Central Florida. Some areas, dirt cheap. We enjoy getting your reactions to our stories, so keep sending us your comments and feedback to cbsmiami@cbs.com. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Miami Life. Don't forget, we'll see you every Thursday for this show at 6:30 on the stream, and we're also on TV 33 Sundays at 1:30 p.m. And all Miami Life episodes are on demand on our YouTube channel. I'm Jim Berry. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.